Anyway, I was talking to a guy about doing this mail reform, and the challenge we were talking about was he wanted to target young people, millennials. And immediate response was, I was thinking, if it's found on their phone, they're not going to look at it. So I said, oh, yeah, skip that. But I was got to thinking about it during the day, and that's not true exactly. I have a group that I talk with about once a month. There's one guy in Little Rock, there's a guy in Baton Rouge, there's a guy in Portland, there's a guy in Dana Point, a guy in Hermosa Beach. They're all printers, and we talk about printing. And there's only one of them that doesn't do as well as I do. All the rest of them do much better. So that's always good to listen to. Anyway, millennials do look at printing. It's not generational. It's everybody looks at a printed image if it's presented properly. So millennials like the internet much better. It's free. Any type of advertising on the internet is basically free, except for the Yelp stuff. But it's a small response rate, as Mike will tell you for sure. Small response rate on the internet, a better response rate when it's a printed activity. And it really depends on how well it's printed and laid out. So that's what I want to talk about today. So my gut reaction on the millennials was just that. I was thinking of the phone, and that's all they look at. They look at them down, walking down the street. They'll trip over a car before they'll put their phone away. Anyway, so I was thinking of what Mike does. The guy that actually this little table right here is really expert in marketing. So I want to focus on them. In fact, we asked you a question a little bit. So, and what do you expect from your marketing campaign? Okay, so also at the end of this, I'm going to be giving away 500 free flyers to some lucky individual. But the type of activity I want to talk about are mailers. Specifically, this is what the guy mentioned. Going to mailing. Now, why would you do a mailing? There's two types of mailing. One is you're targeting an individual group, an individual mailing list that you already have. That's important. That's usually the type that people use. It's mass marketing, thousands of people might have a mailing list. Inexpensive. The other type is you want to target an area, like an EDM activity, where all of the, we're on this golf course, all of the homes on this golf course. So you target them, EDM, that's about 19 cents a piece for mailing plus print. Same with the other one plus print. So that's what I want to talk about today, because that's an important type of activity as far as your advertising campaign and your full campaign is. If it is laid out properly, that is critical. The front page of your flyer or your postcard or your brochure or whatever, that's the grab. If a millennial is going to read it, if it comes in the mail, if they see it somewhere, they'll grab it because of what it shows on the front of it. A nice home, whether you sold it or not, a really nice home out there is a better grab than putting like a condo on it and saying it's $39.95. So that grab is important, and the back of the brochure, back of the card, is where the data is. And what do you expect from the sale? What do you expect from the sale?
Expect from the sale?
Yes, because you're putting that piece, that marketing piece, you want a sale. But what do you expect from that? What do you, beyond that single sale, which is your primary, what are you going to expect?
I'm hoping for referrals and to be a long time, like connection, with that person and maintain that relationship and build value with them and vice versa.
That's good. Guys, same thing?
Yeah, just, just an opportunity and introduction to show what we all have to offer. That's what obviously a sale will be great. It starts with introduction. If you get everything in place, you get people eager to go over, you're talking to people face to face, you just do whatever it is that wins people their own personality. I just want that introduction, one little just to show what I offer.
Since you see so many of them, do you have any input beyond that?
Yeah, I mean, it all seems to be kind of based on, some sort of reputation and image that you can portray to people of being capable, solid, reliable. That's the starting place of any good relationship, I think.
Brand awareness. I mean, I'm not sure how active your competition is out there. Being aware of the competition. You're also being aware of you and how you can do that more than anyone else is probably pretty important to you, right, Ron? So you have upselling. I mean, if you're just putting out that one brochure, upselling is sometimes difficult because you're trying to figure out is Ballard and Ballard my choice of jewelers or what? And he doesn't even get a chance until it gets further into that marketing campaign to make sure people see that he's got watches. He's got watches that they make themselves. His work with on the cutters. He does his own making of the jewelry, which is pretty rare in the industry. The products available. I see that in the stuff I put out, making sure people are aware of your full line of activity. Everything you do out there is so critical that you really can't get that across in just one piece. Remember the old guerrilla marketing we had 20, 30 years ago? There's some validity to it still because you're hitting people with more information, not very often, maybe once a month is probably the least you could do. You're hitting people with more and more information as they go on, and what can they then derive from that? You hit them with the first piece, you're there, brand awareness. You hit them with the second piece, maybe realize now I can make my own watches, I can do my own thing. Maybe I think you do property management. So, yeah, making people aware of things like that. Mailer, I mean, the internet is good. Everyone needs to do it. We all do. But the challenge with the internet is its response rate. It's cheap. Its response rate is very low, extremely low. If you hit enough people, you hope you get it. Mailer response rate used to be maybe 4 or 5%. It's down to about 2% now. But it's still a strong return because 2%, even on 1,000 pieces or 5,000 pieces, isn't bad, especially if you're selling a house. So that makes it valuable to actually print something. Like people buy when they need something. That's why a group like this is so important. We come every week, hopefully. You get to do your speech every week. You get to talk about your product line every week. But we really make it, I may not need communication. You may not need a phone system this week or next week or maybe next month. But I'm always here and I'm always thinking about dentists if I do need it or anything else in the room that you're thinking of you might use. You think about it because we're constantly available to each other to do that. And if you're sending out one piece of mail to hit for whatever reason, whether it's an event or whether it's selling a particular item or selling a particular house or whatever, that may not be the time that they'll want to do it. But if you keep doing that on a regular basis, once a month, whatever you want to do, then eventually they'll remember Mike Raines. Eventually they'll remember Mark Yamamoto because you hit them enough where it's now in the back of their mind. This is why I still print things, print a lot of things. I still do a lot of postcards, a lot of brochures, a lot of catalogs. Anybody here ever get a Uline catalog? Everybody get Uline catalog? Don't you go, why do they still print that inch-thick book?
I know, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. But it's expensive to print it, even for them printing millions of them every month. But it works. If you think of those products, you think of Uline. Now, could they do that a different way? I don't know. That's what they're doing. It seems to work. So repetition, you remember the people, remember your brand awareness, remember the products you sell. It still works. And that's why printing still works.